understand I am not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be. I got these pals like Austin, so all I can see is a bunch of enemies.
Welcome to the
Rip
Rip 28 podcast. This is the Rip 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the Rip 28 podcast. I am your humble host, Slider Sports Guy, joined by a few of my good friends. As always, we start off with the president. What's going on, El Presidente?
What's up, everybody? C-Ned's in the building as always. Let's get it popping. Hey, been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week, man. We took a little bit of time off. Down on the bottom, we got your favorite teacher's favorite teacher. What's going on, El Beezy?
What it do is Ime Udoka just here to chill, man, with the guys and get it popping. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We're bringing back an original. The doctor. What's going on, Dr. Tim?
What's going on, everybody? It's good to see everybody happy, healthy, and safe. And it's good to see the Rip 28 podcast still going strong.
Man, we still going strong, man. We out here still trying to do our thing, man. You know, and this is the thing, man. While we doing our thing, we doing it everywhere. Brian, where we at, man? Where can you find the Rip 28 podcast, bro?
You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, Podbean, Podbay, Anchor. Anywhere you can get a podcast, we there. So there's no excuse for you not to follow us. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, man. Be a great Christmas gift.
What we don't do.
And what we ain't.
Man.
We do it all. Streets.
We talk to the people, man. We try to bring them good stuff, good information, good fun, clean cut stuff. I guess clean cut might. I don't know. It might not be.
Occasionally.
Well, let me interject and say, man, it's tough in the fall when you're a single man and your football team sucks. So it's good to have a breath of fresh air with the Rip 28 podcast.
Yeah,
that sounds like a commercial right there. Well, that's my boy.
It is. Hey, man, but we appreciate you checking us out, man. But make sure you subscribe, man. Make sure you subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that type of stuff, man. We need all those reviews and stuff like that, trying to get them subscriber numbers up, man. Yo, man, it's a lot of shit going on in the world, man. But one thing we want to bring up, man, is this Brett Favre stuff, man. Brett Favre got caught embezzling. What was it? $5 million. He got $5 million from the $5 from the governor. Got it from the governor of Mississippi, and he was supposed to be going and doing some speeches to people, and that's how he was supposed to get paid. But the man gave him the money. He ain't do nothing. And then he go and get a big time volleyball
arena.
A volleyball arena built at Southern Miss, his alma mater.
And his daughter played it.
Yeah.
But now, you ain't heard nothing about it. You ain't heard nothing about it. So we gonna bring it to the light.
Now here the thing. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you now. Yeah, true. He embezzled the money. He did the bullshit. Hey, man. But he did it for his family. He did it for his kinfolk, man.
Hey, man.
He took it from the welfare.
From the poor.
It's crazy, man. Like, so they took it from the people who actually need the money to go build a volleyball complex for his daughter at his old school and all this. And if it didn't get leaked, they were just gonna let it slide. That would have sounded like to me.
They're gonna let it ride because apparently this thing happened about 2-3 years ago, at least 2 years ago, I think, is when it all went down. But then, a lot of the misappropriation of funds was brought into light after what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi. They had the floods and the storms in Jackson, Mississippi, and it messed up the water supply down there. You got people down there still pumping out brown water, coming out they sink. The water's still brown coming out they sink.
Yeah, I got a partner who lived down there in Jackson, and he said they've been boiling water since January. Like, they had to boil the water before they use it. Like, even take a bath and everything. Like
Dang.
they don't even take a bath in that water. It's that bad. I was like, that's ridiculous. Like somebody got to come step in, you know. But it seems like they don't care about the small towns like that. It's sad.
Man, that you stealing from the already
Another thing to point out.
disenfranchised.
Yeah.
You stealing from the disenfranchised to build something for your daughter. And we all say it's for the for family. But you think about Michael Vick, he put his family up in housing, and they turn around and do whatever happened. And look at the coverage he got. And that was about animals, not about stealing from people.
You got to worry about catching the dog.
You gotta worry about the dog catching your ass.
The other thing you gotta keep in mind too, man, is that the situation in Jackson ain't new, man. They've been dealing with those water problems for a long time.
For a long
Yeah.
So the issue that you have now is here you are with these funds that the governor's saying that they don't have to be able to give to Jackson, but they're able to give to Brett Favre. And then the other issue that you got with Brett Favre is that every time he get caught and it's time for him to pay the penalty, he don't even pay the penalty, right? So, you know, is this man really just immune from prosecution? You know what I mean?
That's why he live in Mississippi, because if he's in another state, it'd have been down the river. But he in his hometown, he the
hometown hero.
The prodigal son, I guess, or whatever. He get whatever. It's ridiculous, man. Hey, but I'm pretty sure Jackson could have that $5 million could have helped Jackson with that water, man.
You could have helped a lot of stuff, man.
But it goes to a
Southern
volleyball
Miss.
court.
Besides Southern Miss. Southern Miss now. You need why you need to get him $5 million? I'm sure if you have a golf tournament in your name, you can raise more than $5 million.
Ridiculous, man. But the big point about it is that
it was easier to steal.
Well, now the big point about this to me was that all this went down, and they like sweeping it on the rug in the media. It's like, oh yeah, this happened. Move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? Like he should be getting blasted, man. And you know, I don't know if it's because of he live in Mississippi. He Brett Favre. He's a Caucasian quarterback. They ain't even worried about that. Like, man, that happened to Tim Brown or something. They're gonna be all over ESPN 24/7.
Tim Brown would be the example.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna teach you about stealing funds, misappropriation of the funds, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Stacy in the comments, Stacy just said something about the whole $77 million that was misspent. Now, see, I ain't know about that. I just heard about Brett Favre.
Yeah,
$5 million. Apparently, they stealing a whole lot of money down there.
$77 million.
Yeah,
this ain't the second time. This is like the second or third time he got caught up in some sort of financial mismanagement. And then when it was time for him to pay the restitution, all he paid was the very bare minimum back. He didn't even pay back all the money that was allocated to him. So, you know, Brett is a recidivist, right? He keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and he keeps getting away with it. There's nothing to suggest that if he gets caught again, that he'll have to pay any severe penalty. So if I'm Brett Favre, yeah, I'm gonna take from the welfare fund, I'm gonna take from community chest, I'm gonna take from parking, I'm gonna take from everything I can, because what you gonna do? You clearly have set the precedent that I'm gonna get away with it.
Yeah, what they gonna do to me? Like the thing about it is, I knew he wasn't no good dude when Aaron Rodgers came to the Green Bay Packers, and he had no dealings with that dude. He was like, I ain't trying to help you get better, do nothing. And you know, and he done passed that down to him. Now he the same way. You know, Aaron Rodgers they drafted a quarterback too not too long ago.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, he was like, hey, it ain't my responsibility to help him do that. You know, I'm like, dang.
Now hold on a second, man. Hold on. I'm gonna hold you off, man. This the NFL, man. That part I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him because you mean to tell me you done drafted this guy to come in here and replace me when I still got a couple of more good years left in me. You know what I'm saying? Because Brett went to Minnesota, and Brett had 2 more good years in Minnesota.
Well, I mean, he wasn't gonna take his spot. He wasn't gonna take his spot, but
yeah, he was. This the NFL. It's about money. They could have what they're planning on doing, they hope that Brett would train Aaron Rodgers, and then after year number 2, they go and cut Brett Favre and his big salary, and let Aaron Rodgers come in there for cheap and play for cheap and continue the path on. And now I ain't mad at Brett on that one. That one I ain't mad at. I ain't trying to train my backup. Check this out. Chance.
I forgot who I was talking to.
Now hold on. Let's put it in your shoes. You run one of the largest factories here in Georgia. You run it. You the man. All right. Now, when you turn 53, and they say, man, Chan's getting old. I got this hot shot dude in here straight out of college. I want him to run and take over the factory, and we're gonna go ahead and retire Chance. What if you don't want to retire?
that ain't what it's all about.
That's what happened to him.
I just think about this. LeBron was my backup. I ain't holding no nothing against Bron. I was like, hey, man, I want you to be the best you can be.
Whoa, wait a minute.
You was graduating, though, Chance. You had to leave.
No, I was 11th grade too.
You had to leave.
11th grade, 12th grade.
Let me tell you something.
And LeBron, and hold on.
I wasn't never no backup.
LeBron wasn't
even on offense because I was primarily defense.
Don't you ever?
Oh, whatever, dude. You my backup, dog.
And
I thought I taught you well. I tried to show you everything that I
did. It wasn't even about you teaching LeBron, because shit, you could have been Joe Montana. You couldn't have made Bron a better quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I came in with the skill. What the hell you gonna teach me?
Whatever. Hey, all I'm saying is that I had no animosity because that you were a good player also. I was going to invest in you because the program needed to move forward the next year also. Let me tell you something. That was my thing.
Let me tell you something. You don't see Nike taking advice from Saucony. So what the hell I'm gonna take some advice from you for?
I'm gonna call you Saucony, dog.
Well, maybe if you did, you'd had a better time seeing you.
I just want you to know, Chance Nesbitt, we appreciate you teaching LeBron the intricacies of the handoff on the right and the Lou 29.
Hey, I like you gotta stick it out like this, because it wasn't nothing about pass.
and make sure you carry out your fate. You gotta carry out your fate.
You gotta
so
make
we
sure
know
you
what
get a
the
good
backside
grade.
end doing.
Get a good grade on the scout report.
Oh boy, you stupid.
But yeah, man. But back to Brett Favre, though, man. The dude, my thing is with him stealing the money, man, Mississippi and the corruption. Mississippi is one of the poorest states in the union. Depends on who you ask. It might be the poorest state.
It is. I think it is 50.
It's at the bottom.
Because they got a thing. Mississippi, they either first or they last in every category in the union. They first in obesity, last in education. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. And you got a man who's stealing cash money from the poorest people in the state. That's supposed to go to the poorest people in the poorest state.
But that just speaks to a larger problem in society. It ain't just Brett Favre. It's just people in general. People at the top always get rich. And how do they get rich? They take from the poor, from the ones on the bottom that don't have a voice for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So what these people in Mississippi gonna say to Brett Favre?
Not a damn thing.
And obviously the law ain't gonna say nothing to him because Tim just said that's not his first time. So if you keep giving me a slap on the wrist for getting $6 million here, $6 million there, and I'm only paying back $60,000, I'll take that return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that he got to come at the expense of the disenfranchised. But I just think it speaks to a bigger problem in society, especially business.
You think he gonna get any type of punishment?
No, because it's been 2 years. You knew about it already.
Question is, the governor, the one who gave it to him.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with him? What they gonna do with him?
That's an inside job. That's an inside job.
Well, I done crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna give you this right here, Tim. But on the back end, you got to give me one of them millions out of there. That's all that was. That's an inside job.
But yeah, when it comes to them positions, like that, like governor, any type of politician, and see, I think a lot of people go into politics. A lot of people go into politics wanting to do the right thing
with the right intentions.
And
but
get corrupted.
Once you get in there, and you see how the system really works, I think that's when everything gets messed up. It goes wild, man. Because look at even the president of the United States. President of the United States make what, $200,000 a year.
$250.
You got multi billionaires or millionaires running to be the president for a $250,000 job a year with nothing but headaches. You ain't. It come down to that other money, all that other shit that come along. That's
what you call them endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
Off the court money.
And what y'all don't know is that mafia is real, dog. They come and say, "Hey, I did this for you. You take that. You made a deal with the devil."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sell your soul. Hey, Tito said in the comments, "Money talks and bullshit walk."
Yeah, and check this out. It's not even. It ain't even the. Chance said the mafia. Yeah, the mafia, that might be real. That might be some shit. But there's some shit worse than the mafia out there. It's these corporations. These big business corporations, they worse than the mafia. You know what I'm saying? The NRA, the gun lobby people, you know what I'm saying? The tobacco lobby, them the motherfuckers you really got to worry about. Them the ones who lean on you hard, be like, okay, now I done donated 100,000 to your re-election campaign. I need you to pass this law for me.
My boy Tito Helper said it costs $1 billion to run for president. So you got to get that money up, and you getting that money from somewhere, and somebody gonna want something back for that money that they raised for you. It's crazy.
You better believe it, boy. Yep.
So wait a minute.
That ain't no lie.
Somebody said something about the real question. What is this? What will Mississippi do for the undeserved?
Same thing they've been doing.
Same
thing they've been doing. Not nothing.
Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Just sweeping things under the rug and letting the rich get richer, man, and the poor get poor.
It is a
other thing is making sure that the poor people fight against each other so that they can't ever rise up and really oppose the rich. And that's one of the things that we just got to work on, right? Is just have that solidarity amongst each other so that we can actually mount a resistance that actually scares the status quo. And for a long time, we've been unable to do that. So that's especially true in places like Mississippi and stuff where they don't have the resources to be able to do that. But I mean, you can see that across the South. You can see that in urban centers across the country as well. It's just a very challenging time when you ain't got money.
Yep.
Should never gave y'all people money.
You got people like Jay-Z talking about he shouldn't be called a capitalist, right?
Wow. I don't know, man. It's how you fix it, and this goes back. It's mostly us, people who look like us, who getting hurt.
Don't nobody look like you, Sly.
He meant the race. Come on, grow up, Chance.
But it's people who look like us, trying to buy into the system, trying to make the system work for us. Now, a lot of people get mad when I say this, but I truly believe integration may have been one of the worst things that happened to the Black community. The fight to be integrated, to you wanted the fight to go and sit at their lunch counter, to go in the shop in their store people who didn't want you in their stores, that, because before that, Black communities had their own laundry, dry cleaner, their own grocery stores, their own, whatever, restaurants that you would go to, but now you're fighting to be able to sit at their table, to be able to sit at their places. And what happened, as soon as you were allowed the right to go into their restaurants, to go into their hotels and stuff, you abandon yours. You abandon yours. You abandon the people who look like you, and you lost, and they went out of business. And so now you don't have the black dollar in the community no more. You know, they were saying something like in certain Jewish communities, if you spend $1 in that community that dollar stays in that community. It changes hands in that community, you know, about 10 to 12 different times in the community before it even leaves. In the black community, you put that money in that community the first time, as soon as you spend it, it's out the community. It's gone.
Yeah, I think you gotta be.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I was saying, you go and look at a lot of these the local corner stores, the local gas stations, corner gas stations in the hood. They owned by, you know, different races, the Arabs or the Chinese restaurants. Those Chinese restaurants, they get all the money out the hood, but how many of those restaurants sponsor a little league team in the neighborhood? Willing to bet probably none. You go and look on their wall, you don't see no pictures of no little league team. We used to go to what's the little Chinese place right across from Russia's?
Chopsticks.
Chopsticks. We used to go to Chopsticks every fucking day. Every day. Chopsticks ever donated $1 to Columbia High? I doubt it. They ever hired one person who was outside of their family in the neighborhood? Nope. Not at all. So
I think you got to be careful with that reading of history, man, because there are a lot of simultaneous forces that went on to kind of get us to the point where we're at. Part of that came along with assimilation and the power structure absorbing certain groups into acceptable positions versus others, right? So, for instance, there's a book called How the Irish Became Black. I can't remember what it's called, right? But it talked about when the Irish first came over as immigrants, there's a lot of xenophobia because of the Irish and what they represented in terms of labor force. And then eventually, as we understand the Irish today, they're part of the white power structure. The same thing goes for Italians and everybody like that. Basically, what you would have is that you have these cities that would invest in having these groups become part of the white power structure. And then the other thing you got to keep in mind too, when it came to Black folks in their own communities, there's a lot of self-sabotage from the white power structure as well, right? And so Carol Anderson wrote a book called White Rage that talks about this in detail. Most people are familiar now with things like the Tulsa race riots, but there's also like the Atlanta race riots, there's the Philadelphia move bombing, there's all these different incidents in history that shows that once you start to have certain progressive movements with Americans that are marginalized, specifically Black people, the power structure swings the pendulum back very hard. And the most recent example of that is the rise of Trumpism in response to the Obama presidency. Actually, there's more that's happened way more recently than that, but you know, this is one that's kind of high profile that we still see the reverberations from. So, you know, I do agree that integration probably didn't achieve all the same goals that we wanted it to achieve, but we got to understand that there's a lot of nuance and there are a lot of things that were happening around that same time that also contributed to basically the alienation of the Black community.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's interesting. I often had this conversation with my mom. I brought this up with my mom about integration. And she was saying what they were fighting for integration of schools and services, not necessarily restaurants and businesses. And she said that came along with the fight. And that's, you know, that's what kind of made the community go away. But it's something in the comments I want to address. Stacy said Chopsticks is closed now. Let me tell you why Chopsticks is closed now. When they started Chopsticks, that lady was pregnant. It was a husband and wife who ran that place. She was pregnant. And when that baby was born, they took one side of the restaurant and just put some chairs up and blocked off one side and made it a nursery for their kid. All right. Then she got pregnant again, had another kid, and they made it a nursery for the kid. They made it a daycare for their 2 kids. They 2 kids, as soon as they was old enough to see over the counter, their kids was working the cash register, taking the money, doing whatever they wanted to do. All right. They sat there and bank money in our community. And now it's 25 years later. Those kids have graduated from college, are out of college. And now the parents like, cool, we done made our money. We don't want to work no more. Our kids off and doing their thing. Let's go ahead and close it. We done became millionaires off of the hood. They can go back to China, wherever the fuck they from, or go to Lake Murray and relax.
Well, them people that was running it when we was in school, they been gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know who took
gone.
over? That was their kinfolk who took over.
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't ate that chopstick since Columbia High.
Yeah, that was the kinfolk who took over. So it was like the 2 people who started it, the husband and wife who started it, when they left, when they quit or whatever, she let her brother take over. And that's what it was. So, oh well, man. Oh well.
So what we do, man, we got another situation, it's real open up out in in social media right now about Udoka. Ime, what's his name? Ime Udoka?
Somebody say his name correctly, man. Somebody say the brother's name correctly.
Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka.
Hey boy, y'all set the podcast back about 50 years. With y'all. Y'all journalism. What y'all journalism?
What nationality is he actually?
Man, Nigerian.
Nigerian?
Yeah.
So say the name for me one more time.
I mean, I'm just saying it's 3 letters, dog. I feel like you can.
Ime Udoka.
Okay, so Ime Udoka has been in a scandal with the Boston Celtics. Man, first year coach took them boys to the championship game, championship series. Came back this year and got in a scandal with some female. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. It's supposed to be a consensual relationship. Now we don't know. It's still a lot of things coming up about this situation, but he's suspended for a year right now. And it's crazy. I don't know if he ever will come back, because they got a good team. So whoever doing the interim coach or whatever, they gonna coach the team. They gonna do good. They gonna be like, do we need this dude? But what y'all think about this whole situation, man?
No,
it's crazy.
So wait a minute. So he's Nigerian. He's not black. He's not. So that makes sense because
that's a deeper conversation. But keep going.
We all know black men don't cheat, so I understand.
Yeah.
So black men don't cheat.
Amen.
So that dude is Nigerian.
Amen.
But a lot of people sit there, a lot of, and here's the thing, black women who don't even know who the hell this guy is, but they know his long-term girlfriend or long-term fiance for the past 12 years, Nia Long, who we voted. If you check our archives, she was in our top. I think Nia was top 5. She made top 5 or our finest women ever. And apparently he cheated on Nia Long, so now everybody mad and upset. But this is my thing. It was a consensual relationship, and they Hollywood, man. We don't know what type of deal these folk got, man. Nia Long, man, she filming these films. She off. She going away to LA or wherever they filming at for 4-5 months out the year. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what type of agreements and stuff they had, man. I don't know why everybody mad at this dude. When they say when people cheat, when people, have extramarital affairs, 9 times out of 10, but they say it's like 80% likely that they will have an affair with someone that they work with. And the reason for that is because you see that person, all the time. That's what you see a lot. And sometimes, you might spend more awake hours with your coworker than you do your actual wife.
But that's a rule though, dog. You can't do that, man.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to sit where you eat.
Yeah, you can't do that, dog. Like somebody who work with you, man, that ain't nothing but problem and trouble all day long.
But see, this is the thing I don't understand, right? Is sisters talk all this trash about there being no good men. Well, why don't you share, right? And Ime Udoka is a trendsetter, right? He is a good man. He over 6 feet tall. He making millions of dollars in the limelight. He's got plenty of love to give and plenty of people to accept that love.
That man just trying to help the community.
That's right.
Hey, but for real though, like you said, he got all this going for him, right? So it's plenty of people in Boston that you can mess with. Why you gotta do somebody that you work with?
Because that is access. It's access and availability.
That's right.
Is that person?
Let me clean this up right quick. Seriously, I'm not condoning his behavior or anything like that. And I think one of the more unfortunate products of this is that this becomes another canvas for people to project their trash opinions upon. That's what we do in our community, right? Is something happens on a high-profile couple, and then we use that platform to be like, see, told you about messing with them white women or whatever it is that we want to say in terms of the point.
I hate the fact though that poor Allison Feaster had to catch some strays.
Oh, she caught a lot on, boy. They called her a home wrecker.
They automatically thought it was her.
They automatically thought it was her.
She need a shoulder to cry on. Tell the Visit the Rip 28 podcast why we on.
I'm trying to get in touch with Nia, man. She ain't returning my DMs, man.
Hey, I already hit her with that thing. Hey, big head.
Hey, y'all crazy.
Hey, big head. Hey, she need a shoulder to cry on. I'm here for it. I'm right. Over 6 feet, Tim.
Yeah.
No, I done shrunk. I'm below 6 feet. No.
Nia needs somebody. I'm here for her, man.
Hey, but the crazy thing is people think she's removed from being cheated on because she's beautiful. You know how many people have been cheated on? I got a long list. Your mama, your auntie, LaToya, about 3 Kims, all of them. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I don't be showing my DM Sly. Come on, man. Get out of there. Get out of there, Sly. That ain't right. Don't put me on blast like that.
But yeah, man. But what you saying though, Brian? It's a lot of truth to that, man. Just because you're beautiful, you can be cheated on. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who the fuck you are.
Right.
Hell, Jermaine Dupri cheated on Janet Jackson.
Huh? Halle Berry done been cheated on by several men.
Halle crazy though. Halle crazy.
Yeah, but
to your point, Sly, like you said, you don't know what the arrangement is now. So we can't say definitively that he was cheating or not. Right? Yeah. So I mean, they could have a Will and Jada entanglement August situation, right? September.
Oh boy. Here we go. White man.
I'm glad you brought up Will and Jada, man. I'm glad you brought up Will and Jada. Because all these women going around shouting about how evil he was, what a bad guy this dude is, because he went out. Ain't nobody asking about his mental state. Why did he go out? Maybe Nia ain't taking care of what she should be taking home at home, taking care of what she should be taking care of at home. When Jada cheated on Will, it was all about what Will wasn't doing for Jada. Where that same empathy at? Where that same concern,
Hey,
where that
until they found out
Ime.
Until all these women found this out about Ime Udoka, they was relationship goals. They was posting relationship goals.
Exactly.
Everything that glitter ain't gold. You better know what's going on behind closed doors. Because now you see Nia wasn't as happy, or he was still doing his thing, or allegedly doing his thing, or whatever the case may be. So be careful who you put up there as your relationship goes, and just try to have the best relationship you can have it.
Yeah, just worry about yourself.
Yeah, worry
I
about
think
your baby daddy.
I think a larger takeaway from this too is that we really don't know what it takes to make a successful relationship. And everybody's situation is going to be different, right? So, you can highlight somebody as relationship goals because of what you see on the surface, but are you willing to do some of the things behind the scenes, right? And so, for example, with Will and Jada, they have that pact allegedly that they're going to sleep with other people. Are you willing to pay that price? You willing to let your man get broke off? You willing to let your woman get broke off? Right?
Hey,
what Kevin Hart said, imagine somebody having sex with your woman, sweating on her, right? Sweat drip down on her. You gonna be able to handle that?
Hey, all I'm gonna tell you is my relationship goals is Chance and T Nesbitt. And I don't know everything behind the scene, but I know she was with that Negro when he was broke. He's still broke and she's still there. She's a good woman.
You ain't lying about that. You ain't lying about that.
So I want to be like Chance and T. I don't care. What up, Roger Goodman? What up, Penelope Jones?
Because you're going to have them sleeping out in the garage.
Huh?
He got my back.
But Chance,
I got his back, man.
Chan's faithful out of fear.
He better be.
He don't want to get cut. That's why Chan's a good guy. He don't want to get cut.
Hey, don't go there, dog. Don't go there. We good.
Hey, Chance. Hey, blink 2 times if you're in trouble. We'll call somebody. Blink 2 times. But nah, man. But on the real note, though, I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't ever get into that relationship goals because I know how it is. People are always gonna want to look like they're on the same page for the public, and behind closed doors, there's a lot going on. So all that energy you putting into somebody else's relationship and they goals, just go out there and make sure your man, your woman, or whatever, your situation is taken care of. So, you can be that example. Don't worry about Ime and Nia, because they got enough money, they'll be okay.
Yeah,
they'll
man,
eventually come around.
You're right. Hey, you don't know how many things like I've seen on Facebook where, hey, my baby this, we doing A, B, and C. But behind the scenes, they finna get divorced.
Hey.
Of course, they're gonna put their best self out on Facebook. They ain't gonna be like, all right, we beefing doing A, B, and C. They gonna show the good side on Facebook. So people look at that stuff. You can't look at that stuff like that's the real life. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you sure don't know how many black eyes that got worn behind closed doors, and how much makeup they covered up, and how many scratches in somebody's face. I'm just telling you. So you just don't know.
Hey, shout out in the comments. We got who we got out there. We got Bonnie out there, Patira out there. Penelope says nobody her relationship go. Penelope, tell your mom I said, hey, how you doing, mama? Let ask your mama if she need a youngster in her life. I'm here for her.
Ain't no youngsters on this show.
Shout out to Shannon in the comments. But another thing, man, this dude is a coach of a professional team, and a lot of times, man, when it comes to infidelity and being faithful, a lot of times you're only as faithful as your options. And let's just be honest. Sometimes you're as faithful as your options. And this man I think for certain high-profile people, high-profile actors, athletes, stuff like that, it's hard, man. I think sometimes some of these guys deserve a pass. You deserve because somebody asked David Justice one time. They said, David Justice, man, how can you cheat on Holly Berry? And David said, man, Holly is beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. But I'm a professional baseball player. Every city I go to, there are 5 Holly Berries in the lobby. I make it up to my floor. They 3 Holly Berries on my floor. And when I go in my room, 2 of them manage to sneak by security and get in my room. I got all these Holly Berries waiting on me, and you expect me just to be with Holly Berry? It's tough.
just kind of speaking of that, athletics is definitely a different world. And it's one of the things that we witnessed firsthand because as a guy, we went to high school where we had the cheerleaders and then he had his own section. And then as we got older, when Chance Nesbitt got married, we went to Memphis for him to get married. And everywhere we went, there was a young lady saying, "Excuse me, sir. I usually don't do this, but here's my phone number." And it was the most unbelievable thing we've ever seen. Like, because people like me and Sly, we have to work hard. We got
Work
to bring
hard.
a game every time to talk to a woman.
Let me tell you about that Memphis trip, man. We going to Chance wedding. We going to Chance wedding, right? We going to the wedding. We at an IHOP. We stopped to eat at an IHOP, and the waitress come over, and I'm sitting up here. I'm talking. I'm spitting my best game. I'm 24-year-old full Mac Daddy Sly, spitting my best game. I get the waitress number.
That's right.
She gonna hook up. She gonna hook up with us later on. Kick it with us in Memphis. We go back to the minivan, get in the minivan, and I'm gonna call him male model because he's 3M. He's triple M, male model blank. He comes and he says, "Yo, how did you do that? That's amazing." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You're like, "How you got her number like that?" I say, "I just talked to her, bro." And he's like, but I don't know how you do that. I'm like, "Mike, man, you had girl." My bad. I'm like, "Blank, you got girlfriends. You done had women. You ain't no virgin." He's like, "Yeah, but they usually just give me their number." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
What the fuck? I couldn't believe it, man. And he was so sincere. It wasn't even like he was just being arrogant with it, man. That's just who he was, man.
It's a different level. It's a different level.
It's a different level, man. And my thing is, it's like, as a man, man, I think you should be rewarded something extra for being faithful. I truly believe if you marry,
piece of chicken.
If you marry and you go 5 years without cheating, your wife should allow you to go and get you a blowjob somewhere. You know, she should allow you to step out some. Because here's the thing, as women, from the time a woman is 12 years old and starts to grow a little bit of titties and start to get noticed by the opposite sex, she's had men hit on her. A woman is used to saying no. A woman is used to turning down men. She has practice and experience. Man don't have that type of practice and experience. You know, a woman throw some coochie at a dude don't know how to respond to that. It takes strength. It takes strength.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Sly. You ain't gonna get me in trouble on this podcast today. Talk about that. You gotta have that restraint.
Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that restraint. You do. You gotta have that restraint. It's hard. But that's what I'm saying. It's harder for a man to have that restraint. It's hard. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's impossible. But I am saying it's hard. It's hard. It ain't impossible, but it ain't the easiest thing to do. It ain't the easiest thing. And who that court talking about not having her AirPods on for this? Yeah, this might be one you won't have them AirPods on.
I think that fellas always got to think about what it's going to take to maintain and also what they stand to lose. I think once you have those two thoughts, then it'll make it a lot easier for you to have that restraint.
Good job, Tim.
I don't know, man. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing for the brothers, man. But back to the dude getting suspended for a whole year, man. You think that's justified, man? Him getting suspended for a whole year for having a consensual affair?
If there's no crime that have been committed, I say no. I say it's just chalked up to immorals.
Well, it was supposed to be a company policy or whatever, so who knows? But I mean, either you fire the dude, how you gonna suspend a coach for a year and then bring him back the next year? I don't get that. Either you fire him or you let him coach. One of the two. I don't understand this suspension for a year.
I mean, shit, it sounds like Ime got a paid vacation for a year to continue tricking off on whoever it was he was tricking off. So for Ime, sound like a victory.
You said, get that out your system and then come on back.
Yeah, go ahead, go to Cancun, go to Brazil, right? You got a whole year off, my man, and we still paying.
You know, that's I don't know, man. I don't think the man, because people have affairs all the time, man. And I don't think an affair warrants. I don't think an affair warrants a 1 year suspension. I don't think an affair warrants a 1 year suspension. Not an affair. That's something that man got to deal with.
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah, his personal thing, because that's not affecting his job. That's not affecting how he's carrying out his work.
I mean, I don't know, man. What if he was sleeping with Jason Tatum, right? I mean, you don't know that.
Well,
they said a wife. They said a woman. They said a woman, Tim.
Okay, well, you know, Jason Tatum didn't play that well in the finals, so I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, come on, Tim. Oh, come on, Tim.
You taking it way somewhere else.
Come on, Tim. Tim saying the man a woman because he played. Oh, come on, Tim.
Nah, we're joking. It's all in good love. Don't send any angry email to me. Send it to the RIP 28 podcast. What's the
We ain't gonna tell you.
Man.
But man, I just don't think the man should be suspended for a whole year, man. Not for having a consensual affair.
But it sounded like that was in the contract as far as we look at basketball as just playing basketball, but the basketball operation is a whole corporate. It's a whole corporation. You know what I'm saying? You got secretaries, you got all kind of stuff. You know that just office people type in that corporation. So it ain't just all right. These dudes are out here playing basketball. This is the office setting. You know what I mean?
Every business has rules, and you must follow the rules.
Yeah, they got
so
the rules.
They said that you can't be with someone in management or in the organization. Then I guess you cross that line. I guess you got to pay. But like Tim said, don't sound too bad to me. Still getting paid. Ain't like he lost nothing monetarily.
Do we know that? Is he getting paid?
They ain't say suspended without pay. They just say suspended a year.
I don't know. Shannon said if they suspended all the men that cheat, hell, the workforce would be up shit creek. Hey, man, and I don't like how all this slander is going.
Who the men cheating with? I ask Shannon, who are the men cheating with? I'm just curious.
Exactly.
Right.
They cheating with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
They might be cheating with each other.
That lady knew he was in a relationship. It wasn't like it was no secret.
And we don't know enough about the lady to see what kind of relationship she was in.
Mm-hmm. What I think from what they saying the lady was married. So what I'm guessing what happened, her husband found out about it. And once her husband found out about it, now it's time to for some shit to hit the fan. Her husband ain't had that same agreement that Nia Long had.
Yeah, they had that long money like that. they was in a regular relationship.
Yeah, and Stacy says, what about the other staff apparently the other staffer, she changed up her story. Now it wasn't consensual.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like first it was consensual, then it was like he made unwanted advances. So who knows what's going on? It's gonna be probably another month down the road before we get the full story.
Like Sly said, man, y'all, they tripping, dog.
And then it's a white woman, so just hold off about 2 more weeks. Now it's gonna be rape.
You sure about that? It's a white woman?
Yeah, they said it was a white chick who was there. It wasn't Allison Feaster. Allison Feaster was catching a whole lot of strays, man.
Yeah, and like just talking about that, like how the media can can twist stuff so messed up, man. Like they had no facts that was her. They just assumed, and then they posted it out there worldwide for everybody to have these speculations and all that stuff, man. That's crazy.
Wait, you said it was a white woman?
Yeah.
Somebody called Dr. Umar.
Yeah. you know
Umar.
Dr. Umar, man.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Dr. Umar ain't having that. Cheating with a white woman? Come on, man.
With a name like Ime, cheating with a white woman. Get out of here. You gonna send that man to the moon.
But here's the thing, though. He is African because black men don't cheat. So therefore, that is still true. That hashtag is still true. It's not wrong. Black men don't cheat.
Hey, it wasn't a problem, like you said, sliding till the husband found out. The husband didn't find out, this thing would have still been going on.
You know what happened? The husband sat there and he imagined that man sweating on his wife. And then it became a problem.
That's what. And see, you know, another thing when it comes to cheating and stuff like that, and I've said this before, I think more people would be willing to forgive infidelity when it's not in the public. If nobody knows, if that cheating went on behind closed doors and nobody ever found out about it, you know, then infidelity could be kind of swept under the rug and moved on. People could move on. But once the world finds out about it, that's when all hell kind of breaks loose.
Because everybody got their own, because everybody start weighing in with their opinion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, she's stupid. She should do this or he should do. Hey, it ain't your relationship. Shut up.
Yeah, you know, I'm reminded about a time I was going through a personal time in my life and I called into a radio show. Radio host told me that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I really appreciate Sly the Sports Guy for giving me that information. I've taken that to heart moving forward. And now I'm way happier for it. Remember, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Amen. But you know, I joke around. A lot of times I joke around, but sometimes I be serious. I do commend, you know, the married guys out there who take their vows seriously, because that's your thing. Once you make that vow, you make that vow not only to your partner. If you are religious, you're making that vow to God. You're making that vow to God to be faithful. And you know, marriage ain't easy. You know, I'm divorced, but that one thing I can say, I didn't get divorced because of cheating. You know, I'm not a cheater, not a married cheater. You know, so you know, but I commend those guys. Once you make that step to be in a committed relationship, you're in a committed relationship. And then another thing too, you know, as we've gotten a little bit older, I don't have the patience for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have the patience to go around and try to figure out how I'm a cheat or, you know, how I'm gonna set up time to get away and shit like that. I just don't have the patience or the energy for it. So, but I don't know, but I guess it's different though when you're in the NBA and, you know, you got that free time on your hand. You got free time and money. Maybe I just don't have enough money to be a cheater. That might be it.
That's probably the money in the game.
You know, I got the game now.
Yeah.
I got the game. I just don't
for the lower level.
The lower level. I ain't a professional level. I can't get the IG thoughts.
You get them $40.
The ones with low standards and low expectations.
Yeah.
You know, I also think too it's worthwhile having this conversation again. What actually constitutes as cheating? Now, in this particular case, obviously, sounds like Udoka was having sex with these folks, but you know, for a lot of people, it may not necessarily cross that line. So, what exactly constitutes cheating? I don't know if this is a question for the panel. If people want to opine in the chat, in the live stream, but yeah, what exactly is cheating?
Yeah, all the people out there in the comments, what exactly is cheating? And I think for a man, cheating is, you know, having sex. You go out there and have sex. That's cheating.
And then what makes it worse, right?
But I think for a woman, is if she goes out there and gets a emotional connection when you start that talking and those phone conversations and stuff like that. I think that's worse. I think
like
that's
if she,
That was Sly. That was gonna be my question. Would you rather a man have your vagina that he took from you, or take your woman heart? Because when he got that heart in that ear, boy, that's a hard sell.
yeah, that's
You
that's
can't get that back. Because he
like,
telling her everything he need. Yeah, man, you know, Tim ain't worth nothing, man. See, if that was me, I would have had them rose petals on that bed. I would have took him to Cancun. You know what I'm saying? He's saying all the right stuff. You know what I'm saying?
hey, people, I know a guy. I'm not saying he on this panel or anything, but he thrives on that situation. Like when I'm not saying he on this panel. Don't get me wrong, but you know, somebody if somebody having a bad situation and they show it out there on Facebook, somebody out there in that inbox like, hey, you know, he wrong for that. You know, I do it this way. Hey, they be like, oh, for real? Hey, then he in there.
Oh,
He in there like swimwear. You know what I mean?
Like the bat signal.
He go down there scrolling like, ooh, she having some problems in her relationship. Let me go be that shoulder to cry out.
hey, my cousin got a home. Hey, my cousin got a homeboy that go down the timeline and he look for anybody that got Columbia High affiliation, and if they having a bad day or anything, he up under that thing. He up under that comment.
and
Hey
that's another.
Miss Lady. Hey Miss Lady.
That goes a little bit further, man, on putting all your stuff out on social media, putting all your information out there. Is like, man, they certain stuff that should be private, that
Yeah.
needs to be private. And I truly believe your relationship is one of those things that should be private.
Be
You don't
private. That's
have
it.
information on the internet, because you know you got all these people, like somebody said earlier, you
They
got people,
vultures.
yeah,
They
you got
vultures.
vultures, but you got those people who post all those happy pictures. They post all those happy pictures and stuff. Like I know a young lady, she's married, and she posts all these pictures about her husband, and they're doing all these happy, good things. But I found out from one of her friends, her husband be beating the shit out of her.
Uh-oh.
You know? Used to. I don't know if he do anymore, but I know he used to. He'd be slapping her around and stuff. But she don't post no pictures of her getting slapped in the mouth.
Come on, Sly.
She don't post that. And that's it make me laugh when I see all these pictures and stuff going on like that, man. That's why I think is, man, you need to keep your relationship. Your relationship should be your relationship, not
Yeah.
Facebook relationship.
Keep it private, man. You know, don't nobody need to be in your business.
But then if you do that, you got something to hide. Who you hiding from? Who you hiding from?
I tell
You
him,
know how you know what it's gonna be. You
I say,
hiding from somebody.
I'm not hiding you from the world. I'm hiding the world from you. That's what I say. That's what I say, man. Check this. Damn, man, this went a little bit longer than we thought, bro. We still had a question we wanted to get out there, man. We coming up on an hour.
They get it.
You want to get that question out there, man?
Let's get one of them. I know we got a couple, but at least one.
Get a question out here, man. It might end up going, okay, hold on. Let me and I can't I'm gonna read it. I guess I'll put it in the post edit right here. Here we go. Our question. All right. Hey y'all. My girlfriend wants to move in her 22-year-old son into my place. He's okay and all and seems quite smart, but I am kind of uncomfortable with the idea because of his living habits and lifestyle. He basically stays in his room, plays games, and smokes weed, and comes out to eat. That's about it. Does not work or seek it. Dropped school, and his mom has been paying his rent, doing all the chores, etc. He is currently living with a friend who wants him out. I did express my concern to her and said no. Well, it is not going over well and may be the end of long relationship, unfortunately. Am I being fair or irrational? man, you better run as far as you can from this bitch, dog. You better run. You better get away
Hey,
from
bro,
her.
I tell you what you tell them. They can get their place together. Y'all can go get a place together, mama and son, and live the way y'all want to live. Because if you under my roof, boy, you working. You doing something.
Yeah. You ain't out here just doing whatever, you just chilling in the house. All you do is come out to eat. Hey, bro, you gotta do something with yourself.
I
Real.
don't mind you smoking weed, long you let Uncle Elroy hit it.
No, I'm gonna take the counter perspective on that, man. I'm gonna take the counter perspective on that, man, because it's a jungle out here. It's hard for anybody, especially us as adults, and especially when you first starting out. Sometimes you need a little bit more time in the womb or in the cocoon or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, you should let them move in and be a good influence, right? And slowly introduce him to this thing that we call life instead of just push them out, expecting them to fly. Because a lot of times that's why we crash.
He ain't trying though, Tim.
Hey, listen, Tim.
No, I
I
did.
love,
What I'm saying is you get a chance to
Tim,
bring him into the setting and you get a chance to be a good influence.
Tim, would your daddy have did that for you, Tim?
Oh no, I mean I let
Okay,
that.
then. So it ain't okay for him. And you turned out
Talking
okay.
about my daddy.
Hey, but you
Talking
turned out
about this
okay.
guy.
So we gotta give them the same thing, man. Because if we keep pacifying these kids, we're gonna keep getting the same thing. You gotta teach them. You gotta try. If the letter said that he was out here trying to be gainfully employed, he was working at McDonald's, but it was a little tough for him because you ain't making enough money. Cool. But you think you're just gonna sit in there and master all the levels of these games and be ranked nationally playing video games and smoking weed, and I'm out here having to worry about the bills, and you 22 years old? Negro, please.
Yeah, but I mean that's the
In the words of
circumstance.
Piezo, Negro, please.
Negro, please.
Hey man, so that's the circumstance why he over there at his friend's house. But that's what I'm saying. You had a chance to establish some ground rules, and you had a chance to actually push this and steer this in a positive direction. So I'm gonna take the counter argument. I'm gonna say that you bring that man in, you let that man get a job, you let him save some money so that he's able to stand when it's his time to go out. Because what's gonna happen is, if you give him the opportunity the first 2-3 years, whatever the case may be, when he go out, he'll probably stay out. But if you kick him out on the streets right now, then he'll definitely be in your house when you marry with the mom and he 30, 35.
But I tell you what, they should have taught him work ethic and about life as he was coming up when he was 13, 14 years old, like Sir Leroy Brown did. It
Hey,
was
man,
known
let's not
early.
get revisionist history now. I mean, I understand that we all have made it to our 40s and everything, but let's not sit here and pretend like we was the most hardworking and mature people at 22, whatever the case may be.
Actually, I had 2 jobs. You know why? Because my daddy made it known early in life. Once you walk across that stage and at your high school, you have become a man. He said when he was 18, he was out fighting a war. So he'd be damned if he gonna let somebody come back in his house sitting there for free. And that was known early.
And he be what, bro?
He'd be damned if somebody was coming back in there. And that was known early, Tim. That was known early. And I'm not saying that fits for everybody. I learned from it because I didn't want to be homeless.
But here go my thing, and it's the big thing for me. The kid is 22 years old and he lives with somebody else now. He has his own place, but his mom is paying the rent. His mom is already paying the rent and doing his chores at his other place. And his other friend, he is currently living with a friend who wants him out. So that is telling you that this other friend, probably 22 years old, around his age, notices that this dude ain't shit. It's a difference if you're 18 and have never left the house, hadn't left the house yet. And then you can say, okay, I want to cuddle you. I want to make you a little bit better. I want to strengthen you up. But he's 20, he's 22. He's already out the house. You're inviting a bum back in the house. You're inviting a bum in your house. And Anthony, we got Amp on here. Amp talking about good positive spin, Tim. Now, Amp, you got to You got 3 boys, Amp. Amp got 2 or 3 boys. But anyway, I know one of your boys is a senior, and I think your other boy probably graduated by now. If them
Yeah, I
2
think he in college.
working, huh?
I think he the oldest, his oldest son in college, I believe, or in the workforce.
Now, Amp, keep it real, Amp. Your 2 boys, if they were working and they sat in your house and smoked weed all day and didn't come out the room, would you put up with that mess?
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, man, you gotta continue to look at the scenario. He lives with a friend, like you said. His mom is taking care of him while he at his friend's house. So of course, but I don't think you get the chance to have it both ways, right? I don't think you get a chance to say that we need our kids to have this strong leadership, to have this tough love, so on and so forth. And then also in the same breath, say that, well, if you're not behaving in the way that we think needs to occur, we just gonna kick you out on the street without providing the guidance. Like, you got to give that person a chance to get that guidance.
How's he getting that guidance? By letting his mama pay his bills, Tim, and not working.
What happened to the
He's
guidance?
not even trying. He left school. If he was in school, I could see, but he left school to do nothing.
Yeah, again, but his mama is encouraging this.
She's an enabler. She's an enabler.
She's enabled the situation where it's at, but she's asking to keep coming through the school.
That's why I said put both of them out, not just the son. Teach the mama too.
So what Tim is saying is that the male can maybe make a positive influence in this guy's life. You know, he's still 22 years old. He's still a young man. You know, 21, they say you grown, but we all 4 of us can attest to being 21 years old, 22 years old. You ain't grown. You ain't no grown man that no 21, 22. You still got a lot of growing to do. So he's savable, but you just got to make that. You just got to make that choice if this guy has potential to do good or bad. So we got to know a little bit more about what the dude trying to do.
Right. Yeah. See, I think that if all of us had a choice to not work, ain't none of us gonna work. So he actually has the ability to live that out. You see what I'm saying? But if tomorrow all of us won that Powerball, right? How many of y'all going to work on Tuesday? That shit ain't happening.
Yeah, but we got the money, Tim, to do that. He got the money. He don't have the money to do that. So you need to be on somebody's job. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. When you have a son, I want you to let him live 22 years. Well, you go ahead and let your son go ahead and do that. As for me and my son, he gonna learn early. Boy, you better get out there and get you a job.
My big thing. That's my big thing. My big thing is I don't mind my son staying with me until he gets on his feet, until he matures and gets ready. But he's not gonna stay with me and sit in his room and smoke weed and play video games all day.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's the issue.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
If I can't do it in my house, how am I gonna let you come in here and just do it? No, man.
If
you
I wake up to go to work and he's still in the room sleep, and I come home, he in the room playing a video game. Nah, bro.
But why y'all assuming that he automatically gonna do that though? That's what I'm saying.
What he's doing.
He's already over there.
He's already
over there. But if you bring him into your house, you have a conversation with mom. Listen, I don't like what he's doing over there. He can't bring that behavior over here. He can stay here as long as he working at Subway, whatever the case may be, and then cool. Guess what? He can move in, right?
Hey, Amp got a good question. Amp got a good question. How he getting the money for the weed?
Mama paying the bill.
Mama paying for the weed too. You see what I'm saying? No, man, you crazy. You. If he was trying, like I said, like if he was trying to get on his feet, he had just graduated college or college didn't work out, whatever the situation may be. And he came back and said, look, Pop, this is my goals. This is what I'm trying to do. I know right now I'm in a messed up position. If you just work with me and help me get employed or whatever, give me this amount of time, then, I can get on my feet or I can stack enough money. Cool. But for him just to be waking me up like Red Man and Method Man and High, no, that ain't working, bro.
See, that's arbitrary as hell too, because what's trying for you, right? How many jobs he got to apply per day? for you to be like, yo, he trying, right? Because there's clearly a number in your head. You see,
No,
I'm getting
there's not a number in my head, but I gotta see something. I gotta see. Oh man, the comments in the dang on chat. I gotta see some effort, Tim. I'm not saying you gotta go out here and put in 10 applications a day. No, because I knew how it was for me trying to get a job at that age. But what I am saying is you gotta get up and show some initiative. Say, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Show me some goals. Show me you trying to do something. And I can work with you.
I see what Tim's saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he ain't there yet, if you come to my house, before you come to my house, we're going to have a conversation.
True.
And we're going to have the topic going to be, you're going to get a job, you're going to work towards getting to where you need to be. And if that's the conversation, then okay. But if it's like, all right, I'm just moving him in so he can continue to play the PlayStation, smoke weed every day. No. You know what I mean? So I understand what Tim's trying to say. That we gotta have some guidelines, some ground rules before this happens.
Yeah, plus how serious are you about the mom, right? Like, you knew she had a young kid when you met her. So you knew that this had to be a scenario that you was gonna have to deal with at some point. So basically what you're saying is that you really didn't take all that stuff into consideration when you first started dating this woman. And now that the rubber's about to meet the road and now you got some stakes and some skin in the game, you want to cash out because you don't get the chance to control all the variables. So that's some bullshit.
Well, I didn't know she was going to have a bum for a son either, Tim. I didn't marry her thinking this woman got a bum son, so I need to be a male role model to him. No. When he met her at that bar, at work or wherever he met her at, he wasn't trying to date the son.
Well, that man said they was in a long relationship, right? So at some point, he knew that she had a son. And at some point, he knew all these different conditions, right? So clearly, it didn't bother him until it came to having to sit in his lap. So what's wrong with you enacting some boundaries at that point? Like, listen, like, I ain't got no problem with my man staying here, but he gonna have to find a job. He gonna have to clean up the house if he ain't working. Like, he gonna have to have some responsibilities here.
Yeah, well, you definitely gonna have to have some responsibility. If you, and this is my thing, if you a grown man in my house and you don't have a job, when I wake up in the morning to go to work, you up. I don't care if you gonna mop my same goddamn floor every day. There ain't gonna be one piece of trash in the kitchen.
I'm gonna have some pancake, eggs, and bacon ready.
When I get home, dinner need to be cooked. If your ass ain't working, you got to earn your keep. If you in my house, you got to earn your keep. Ain't no playing no video game all got doggone day and smoking weed in my house. First of all, you ain't gonna be smoking weed in my house playing no goddamn
right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right. Inside the house.
In the house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jack.
Talking about you only come out your room. You only come out your room to eat. Yeah, because you high. You got the munchies.
The most important thing, that first sentence, they said, my girlfriend wants to move in her 22-year-old son into my place.
Right.
It's my place. It ain't her place. She ain't got the final say in this shit. She can come up with some ideas. We can come up with ideas, but no, you don't have the final say.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few more steps that he can do to be proactive if this is really something that's important for him, as opposed to, hey, me, man, follow my word.
I don't know, man. Well, check this, man. We getting close, man. We getting close to the end. We done went a little bit further than what we usually gonna go. Oh, but hold on, man. Courtney just said what makes him a bum, though. The fact this motherfucker stay in the house, don't have a job, smoke weed, and eat and stay in the room. That's what make him a bum.
And you know what? You'd be a bum too if somebody was paying for you to do that shit. All of us would be bums. So that's why I don't understand.
But we not.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Why we
so
not
we can
bums.
speak to that.
And Tim, I don't believe you at all, Tim. Nigga, Tim, you go for putting people. Tim, you put me out, nigga. I know you put people out, Tim. You wouldn't
Hey
let
Tim,
that.
Tim got a long
Tim got a long list of niggas
Hey,
he done
hey.
put out.
eviction history.
Hey, and the funny part was, he called me and be like, "Hey, should I put him out?" We're like, "Hell yeah!"
Oh,
There you go. That's your real villain behind the strings, behind the scenes, pulling the strings right there.
Whatever.
I didn't believe
I was gonna let you stay, but Chance said you had to go.
Hey, we had to let you grow up, man.
what he say? I don't believe you. You need more people. Oh. Tim, you would have put the nigga out at 17. I know it's your senior year in high school, but you got
Tim ain't playing. Tim ain't trying to take care of no extra miles and no grown people.
He got a
that
dog.
ain't his wife or kid. So, well,
he already got a dog he got to take care of.
Yeah.
Right.
That dog don't have no job. I'm trying to get him to get a guard dog job on the side. He don't want to do it. Shit.
Seeing that dog, you don't have to contribute to this house somehow.
Yeah, contribute some way. Man, bruh. Oh man, but check this, man. Hey. Hey, we getting close, man. Got a lot of comments, man. Too bad we can't get to all the comments. We see you out there, Sheba in the comments, Sheba and Am. They go your marriage goals right there. They go your relationship goals. Sheba and Am.
Hey, they've been married since 5th grade though.
Oh yeah, they done been ever since Am moved to fucking Columbia. They done been together.
Hey, P had proposed in the 5th grade up on Sanders basketball court on the logos.
Hey, I hear. We was like, man, what's up, man? So and so like it. He like, nah, she gonna cut me.
P was smart. He's smart like Chance. He know he's liable to get stabbed.
She had them on lockety lock.
So yeah, man, check this, man. We're getting close to the end, man. Let's go with some parting shots, man. Well, let's do a quick 90s block, man. We got to do the 90s block real quick, man. Real quick. 90s block. You know what we like to do, man? We like to take a stroll down the 90s block, And this week on the 90s block, we're going to keep it simple. Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Which one?
When I was dead broke, I couldn't picture.
Which one, man? Which one you going to go with?
Man, I'll go first. I have to go with Sega Genesis because I was on that Sonic the Hedgehog real hard. They help your reactions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was out there, on that football field. You're like, all right, Sonic got to get past these spikes and all this stuff.
Sheba in the comments said Super Nintendo. Krista Taylor, Super Nintendo, and Amp Super Nintendo. I'm gonna go with Sega 2, Chance.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Sega, man. That was my joint.
Hey, he's come on. We cut it off and say Sega.
God, that's it.
I'm gonna mess with Sega too, man. I'm gonna mess with Sega Genesis. Ultra Beast, remember that?
Ultra Beast, yeah. They was humans and they turned to the animals or whatever. Yeah.
I ain't gonna say
that's
what
why
I
they
thought.
bring me on here to talk sense into the panel because I'm gonna say Super Nintendo. And just think about it, right? Off the strength of Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, what else? Donkey Kong, right? You still fucking with them characters to this day, right? When the last time you played a Sonic game? Never.
Star Fox was on Nintendo 64, ain't it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
See, there you go. If you would have said Nintendo 64 or Sega Genesis, I would have said Nintendo 64. Because Nintendo 64 had James Bond, had GoldenEye.
Yeah.
GoldenEye was the shit.
Speaking of, it's coming back on Xbox and the Switch.
What?
GoldenEye. Yeah.
Ooh. GoldenEye used to be that thing, boy.
Yeah.
Sly reliving all his little childhood.
You're right, man.
That's right,
Well, check this, man. We getting close to the end, man. We got any parting shots? We always start off with the president. You got anything to say, El Presidente?
Hey, man, just, out here trying to coach Little League football. Hey, these parents something else. Hey, coaching sports is a really challenging job. I know
You took
LeBron can attest to this. You know, like you trying to do what's best for the team, but you got all these people in your ear, and I'm like, man, I can't please everybody. I can't do it. I'm just trying to win. That's all I'm trying to do.
You took my partner shot too.
Once we get these W's, ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
You took my partner shot.
You
took my partner shot, man.
All right, what about you, Bron?
Man, I was gonna say the same thing. Parents, stop lying to your kids, man, about these sports. And I'm a parent of a young kid. Luckily, my son was probably the best player on this baseball team. Not bragging, I didn't have to go through that. But if it comes to a point to where my son is sitting at bench or standing on that sideline, and I got to go to this coach, I'm about to tell him, son, you got to get better. Start telling your kids the truth, because we're setting them up for failure. And you're going to have a son that's 22, like Tim Brown, waiting on you to take care of him.
Smoking weed and playing the video games.
Smoking weed and playing video games and ain't worried about being a man. So start teaching these kids that you got to work hard and nothing is given to you. And once you get to middle school and high school, it's no longer Pop Warner. You do not have to play. A coach does not have to put you in the game. That's my parting shot. Let's go Bearcats.
Tim Beasley, what about you?
Yeah, mine's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna ask everybody to think broadly and think deeply, and also love a little bit harder.
Man,
I like that. Jagged Edge.
Well, this is the RIP 28 podcast, man. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. I want everybody to remember, if you hit the target every time, it's either too near or it's too big. Go and challenge yourself and make yourself better. We'll see you next week on the RIP 28 podcast. Holla.
Them over there look like Morpheus. Shades on.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're into me, hope you understand I am not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be. I got these powers.